Hi everybody, Karen Burchill here. I'm a brand ambassador for TCW, the Crafters Workshop Stencils. And today I have the 2022 winter release stencils, and I'm going to share that with you. Now I've already opened the box and I've labeled them. So we're going to flip through these amazing new stencils and, I'll give you some ideas. So before we get to the stencils, we have some folded 6x6 cards. Love working on these square cards. I've got some watercolor paper here as well. We have some Slimline mixed media boards, 6x6 media boards, and 12x12 media boards, perfect for those mixed media projects. And then we have some stencils. We have 16 brand new stencils that are both 12x12 and 6x6. We're going to come back to those. We have 15 new Slimline stencils. And we've got some mark making tools, some bubble wrap, waste nothing. Packing paper, don't throw that out. This makes for great textures on your projects. And all these packing papers, I'll be using those to gel print on, right on top of the thing. So nothing's going to be wasted. So I'm just going to share with you ideas that I get as I am looking at these stencils. I've labeled them already, but I haven't spent much time with them, so let's see. So this one is from Julie Faifan Balzer Designs. This is called Viney Flowers. Love anything botanical. I love the vine. I can see this one looking really interesting used on the gel plate. I think I'm also going to use the technique of removing paint through this stencil, as well as, I think, reversing the stencil technique that I love doing. And if you're looking for those techniques, just do a search in my channel. Next up, we have quartered block. Now this is interesting. Once upon a time I had a stencil that was similar to this. I like the geometric shapes. I can see stamping in different areas or tracing out the pages, doing some collage work here. You can, put this onto a 6x6. With different size papers. I've pulled out some of my usual substrates here, my usual size, my 9x12. I think that would be interesting, or turn it. And that's also from Balzer Designs. This one, I think, has some interesting possibilities. It's called Splash Whoosh. I like the organic feel of this. I can see tracing, using this as a template to trace these different shapes and layer them on. Stamping through the stencil, I think, would be another great technique. And having multiple sizes of this, turning this into a flower. Love the dots. This one's called Rainbow Branch Circle. So much here. And again, I can see tracing some of these motifs. The circle here, that would be an interesting motif. The rainbow, you can trace that if you wish. Stencil on it. I love this motif in here. This would look good removing paint through the stencil here. And sometimes these give ideas for what you can do in the way of mark making. And you can make a branch like this, fingerprint on it. Oops. This one is called Cosmic Music. Loving the circles and the lines, the geometric and the round. I can see stenciling that down and then painting in the circles. I think removing paint through the stencil or reversing the stencil, working on a black background and then gessoing it might also look nice on here. And I'm going to be excited to try this on the gel plate as well. This one is called Basket Weave, also from Balzer Designs. I think that's going to give some interesting texture and pattern to your background. You can move it around, use it in various ways to get a different kind of pattern. I think every time you use it, it will be different. I think this will be like very nice on the gel plate as well. Oh, I feel a gel printing session in my near future. This one is called Bouquet Bliss, and it is from Rhonda Pelizzari. And I'm so excited. I love Rhonda's stencils, and it's been a few years, I think, since she's put out some new stencils, and so we have several from her this in the winter 2022. So we've got some florals here. You know how I love my gardens, and you can just use this flower. I can trace this one. This would be nice on a, you can just use that motif on a 4x4. Another botanical, this one's Hanging Vines, and we got it in the 2 sizes. Now these are great. You can build up if you're making a bouquet, a floral design, using napkins or other focal images, and then use the greenery here to fill your bouquet. And again, you've got 2 sizes, so if you're working on smaller substrates, you've got the 2 different sizes. This one reminds me of one I don't think I could get any longer from the Crafters Workshop. This is called Encircled, and I'm loving the circles. Mark making, I think, would be great. These are just like large stamps. I think some of this I will use with my acrylic paint through the stencil, but also with archival ink with the blending brushes to give a different, a softer type of look. Love this. Kind of a dandelion head, add a stem. This one really excites me. And again, having it in 2 sizes, I'd mix and match those together. Also from Rhonda, this is Barberry Buds. I think this is very cute. And again, you can use those leaves, do a little painty flower, mix it with some floral stamps that you have to put in the middle. This is just a nice little pattern. This one is called Marrakesh Tiles. Loving the pattern here. This one as well. In here I can see myself tracing and painting the background. Kind of got a scalloped edge here, corner edge. You can play with these. Yes, loving this one. Playful Plumes. this peacock feather, as well as these, all of these. You can add these to some florals, foliage, turn these into wings. I can see even using my picture of a peacock, the peacock head, and then having multiple of those plumes fanning to make the peacock tail. This one from Rhonda is called Summer Meadow. Loving the look. We've got the stems here. All sorts of botanicals. I can see picking and using various ones at different times. And also ideas for how to make your own marks. Loving this too. That would be a nice addition to a bouquet that you might be making. This one is called Illusions. Curious to see how this works on the gel plate. So definitely I'm going to be digging out my gel plate very, very soon and see what these give me. Throw some paint down and just have some fun. And again, you can pick and choose. Play with the colors. This is going to be very interesting. This one is Color Wheel, and it is from Jamie. And you know, with the spokes in the wheel, I mean, you can do it as a color wheel, but it's an interesting motif to add to a page. Remember, you don't have to use the whole entire stencil. You can use part of it. I definitely will be making myself a color wheel. You can see my homemade color wheel has seen better days. So I'm going to do a color wheel, and you know, maybe I'll be doing a lot with the 6x6. I'm going to do one on my mixed media board to give some weight, so when I'm using it in my videos, it's easy to grab, you know. And I might do color wheels with various color mediums, my acrylic paints, which I love, but my Inktense blocks, which are, you know, getting more and more. If you want to see some of these stencils being used, log into Instagram, go to TCW, at TCW, and see the projects. With the design team members have already put out some videos and some uses of these stencils to give you ideas of what you can do to start that creative process. This one is from Rebecca Meyer, and it is called Framed Garden. So again, we have a variety of florals. This stencil, I think you need to put paint through it. Don't hesitate. Go and grab paint and put it through and see what you can do with that stencil before long, because sometimes when we look at it, we don't know. We don't know how wonderful it is, and we're surprised. I'm going to be grabbing out my accidental art journal. One of the purposes of my accidental art journal is to test out new products. So I'm gonna, you know, go on the pages and break the page using some of these stencils just to see what the stencils can do. And more times than not, I'm really surprised at that. So the Accidental Art Journal is a great place to do that. So those are the 12x12 and the 6x6 in the smaller scale. Then we have 15 Slimline stencils. Now the Slimline stencils are measure 9 by 4, I believe. I'm just going to measure that quickly here. 9 inches by 4 inches. And while they work perfectly on the mixed media boards or slimline cards, don't think that's all you can do with them. You can put them onto tags. You can put it on 6 by 6 cards. You can put it on use it within your 9 by 12 pages and your 7 by 10. So don't limit yourself to the size of the stencil. Remember, you can use parts of a stencil and, think outside of the box. So they're also great for ATC size because I can just put this lovely butterfly or this one. So take a good look of your stencils and see what motif you can use. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit with this. Now these are 9 by 4. This one is called Flying Butterflies. Who doesn't love butterflies? Just getting a little piece of that out. Loving it. And it can go this way or this way. I'm loving some of these slimline stencils because they're going portrait. And I can see, putting it up the side of your art journal page, using it as maybe a border. So this is Flying Butterflies, and this is from Carmen Medlin. Sea turtle family. Love this. Love sea turtles. So this one really excites me. And you can put one on a 4 by 4 or a tag. You can have a couple on a tag. Or an ATC. Now Carmen has a whole bunch of sea stencils that have been in other releases, and you can mix with those as well. So remember, mix and match your stencils. This one is called Meadow. Lovely flowers, and we've got the grass and beautiful dragonflies. That is just gorgeous. And you can use just the flowers if you want. I can see myself just using dragonflies. I have a thing about dragonflies. Definitely. And this is another size right there, right there. Perfect for a 4 by 4 canvas. Just tape off the other parts. That's Meadow. This one is Pretty Bicycle. And again, you can have part of it on. Ocean Waves, but we have it elongated. And we can put it on that card. OMG, love Starfish, Sand Dollar, the whole collection. There's my 7 by 7. I can see putting that across, and you can flip it over to continue it, add more, mix and match with some of Carmen's other sea-themed stencils. This one will be used very quickly. Oh, so cute. Penguins. Love that. So this could go, you can put 2 of them. Oh, wouldn't this make a nice ATC 2 by 2 by 2 by 3? Oh. I think I'm going to be making a master board and then just doing different amounts of penguins on those and make a whole bunch of ATCs. This one is called Bird House Couple. We've got a couple birds in here. Looks like apple blossom with the birdhouse. Perfect right there. A little off, that would be a perfect 4x4 canvas. Some of these parts also would work really well on those mini zines that I love to make, those little mini books. These would also be really good in my DIY gel print journals. I recently, but they're the perfect size to go in to some of these journals. This is the one that I just released, but you can, I've got a couple others, and you can definitely, they're the perfect size for these mini makes. Love the birds too. Can't wait to see how that looks. Love me her Carmen sunflowers, and liking this one. It's nice and tall. We've got the fence back there. I can see taking that and maybe adding the butterfly, or you guessed it, add those dragonflies to my page. And I can put one, flip it over to I also like using just the motif of the sunflower, just that, and it makes a nice pattern in a background. A lot of Carmen's flowers work really well for that. Another one that's going portrait, we've got the dandelion. Now, and oh, cute bee, I love that. I'm getting an idea here. I'm just going to maybe tape that off and use a flower from, I mean, you can use this one, you can use it from another stencil that you have to put in there and just have a different type of flower or mix and match. You can have several. We have the one from Rhonda. I think it was that, was it called Encircled? Yes. We have that. We can combine it with, do mix and match with that one. Oh, how cute. Ice cream cone. This one is called halftones, and we have larger circles and smaller circles. I think this one would be great using the blending brush with archival inks through it. That's going to give some interesting small scale stenciling, mark making on your pattern, on your project. Love this one. This one's from Gabrielle Polaco. Patchwork Feather. Now, when I first saw this one, I thought it was one of their sign stencils, and I thought, oh, yum, so nice and big. Loving this though in this size. Fits perfectly this way on a 6x6. Can't wait to put some ink and paint through these. This is another one I'm happy about. Gotta love the circles, bubbled circles. Remove paint through the stencil, mark making. And daisy spread. Daisy spread is from Rebecca Meyer, as is bubbled circles. Love the daisies. Okay, so we can take, mix and match dandelion puffs here, and I'm going to put the daisies on. And then I've got some of the other Carmen's stencils with the flowers. Change the flower heads up. So before I leave, I'm just going to show you a quick way. My Slimline stencils I was keeping in these plastic pouches, which I keep my stamps in, I keep ephemera in. I love these. They are so usable and functional. And I had my Slimline stencils in there, but now I have more, so I need a better system. So I put them into, this is, I believe, it's 9, it's almost 10 by 11. The pages are 11, 8.5 by 11. It's a scrapbook binder, and each page can hold 2 of them. And what I think I'm going to do is, once I have them organized in a way that I like, I'm just going to label them Gentle Leaves, punch card, with the numbers, so I can easily just flip through them. But I will just organize them like that. Or sometimes I will take just ink and ink the pattern there, and then you can see and put them back. But it's, so each page you got 2 on one side and 2 on the other side, and you really can't see here. So that's how I'm going to store that. And then I keep these, I've got my, in the 8x8 scrapbooks, I've got my 6-inch stencils and my 12-inch ones. I put my 12x12 stencils, and I have a brand new empty one because I knew I was getting new stencils and mine were all full up. So I'm going to go now and put all my stencils away, or will I have a gel printing session? Any guesses what I'm going to do? Go get creative.